tabletop, hands and knees. And then tuck your toes. Spread the fingers wide. And as you inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your chest, lift your gaze last, and slide your scapula down your back. And then as you exhale, press the earth away, round your spine, tailbone goes down, belly pulls up to navel, and your head is hanging. Soft neck, heavy head. And then come back through, inhale, tail lifts, belly stretches, and exhale, press the earth away, round. So this should feel really nice, especially at this time. And then just take a few more rounds on your own. Maybe you want to speed it up. Maybe you want to slow it down. Perhaps your body wants to move in a different way. So just follow that and lead with your breath. And then finish up one more round wherever you're at. Come back to neutral. Walk your hands back toward your thighs. And this is where the fun is going to begin with the feet. So you can take your fingers, spread your toes out laterally. And then depending on the sensitivity of your feet, you may stay here or even here and really stretch back and control that. Or you may want a little bit more intensity, which means you're going to come up to vertical, have some weight there on the heels, knees are in line with like sits bones or hips. And then notice with your feet, with your heels, you want the inner and outer ankles lifting up the same on each side. So are your heels splaying out to the edges of your mat, or are they going in more toward the midline? So just think about that and try to find a little lift and elevation up from the inner and outer ankle. And then breathe. You could take your hands together in front of your heart. And then know that sensation is temporary. If it feels like too much or you're coming into pain, we want to come out of that. If it's sensation, we want to breathe. Good. And then bring your hands back down if they were up. Untuck your toes, and love that. And then tap out the tops of your feet. Okay, walk your hands forward just a touch. So wrists are ahead of shoulders. Grip your mat with your finger pads. Tuck your toes again. And then think about here like actually we'll take this from a cow pose. So you're going to lift your tailbone, bringing the natural curve back into the lumbar spine. Press down into the balls of the feet. And then integrate the shoulders, so melt your heart. Notice if you are lifting out of the shoulder socket. So you want to kind of pack the shoulder joint. That should feel really steady. And then from here, keep pressing down into the balls of the feet. You're going to lift the hips super slow. Keep the arms strong and straight and find your downward facing dog. So I want this to feel like that balance between steadiness and ease. So you're able to have some movement. You're not super rigid or static. Maybe you pedal out your feet, waking up the backs of your legs. Gorgeous. Now find stillness. Little bend in the knees. Lift up in the tail, like through the tailbone. And then soften your heels down. Inhale, lift heels super high. Exhale, bend knees deeply, empty the breath, look ahead. And then little steps to the top of the mat, or a little hop and a big hop forward. Forward fold, feet hips width distance apart. You can rock and roll a little forward and back, or even side to side. You could take some hip circles here and really feel the foundation of your feet on your mat. If you're taking little circles, you'll go the other direction. And maybe fold deeper. You're still lifting up with the tailbone. That might require a little bend in the knees and a lift up through the tail. Grab opposite elbows, perhaps sway side to side, shake head no. Nod yes. Good. And then let your fingertips fall down to the mat. Walk your hands forward so you come into that halfway lift or Ardha Uttanasana. And then lift up through the tail. Reach through the crown of your head. Slide scapula down your back and refold. Maybe you get a little bit deeper. And then walk your hands up the front side of your body. Super slow. We were upside down there for a bit. And come up to Tadasana. Okay, let's talk about the feet. So shift the weight to the big toe mound. First of all, your feet, of course, are facing forward. Shift the weight to the big toe mound. Put a lot of pressure there. You could even flex the toes up. And then it's like this isometric movement or this mind Jedi trick that you're lengthening from the big toe mound back to the inner heel. So you're lengthening big toe mound all the way back to the inner heel, stretching the inner arch. And then you're thinking about the the inside corner of the heel, now stretching out diagonally up to the pinky toe mound, and then down to the outer right heel. Super strong foundation. Now lift all the toes, spread them wide, muscular tone for the feet, and then spread the toes back out, expansion. Good. And then tops of thighs anchor back. Shoulders lift up to ears, scapula slide down your back as you roll the head of the arm bone back. And then notice if you're splaying your front ribs out, little tiny point down with the bottom of the sternum toward your navel. So you've got this abdominal strength. Good. And then palms face in. You're super strong. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up, reach through the fingertips. Keep the strong foundation in your feet. Palms come together. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Nice flat back. You might grip the mat with your toes as you fold. Lift up through the tailbone. And then inhale, walk your hands forward, reach through the crown. Exhale, fold a bit deeper. Okay, moving a little faster. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. Keep the tops of your thighs anchored back. Look up. Palms touch. Exhale, fold. Hinge at your hips. Flat back. Tailbone still lifts. Fold. Let the head hang. Inhale. Walk your hands forward. Reach through your crown. Exhale, refold. One more round. Inhale, ground down into the four corners of your feet and then reach all the way up to the sky. Look up. Exhale, refold. Over strong, straight legs. Let your head hang. Jaw is relaxed. Inhale, walk your hands forward. Reach through the crown. Exhale, fold. Root down through the feet. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. This time, grab your left wrist with your right hand. Get really long through the left side body as you reach up. And then take your torso right. Hips could go left. So I'm going to probably look opposite of what you're doing right now. Take your gaze forward. And then keep opening up through your left side chest. You're still rooting down into the feet. And then come back through center, switch the grip. Inhale, reach up, get really long through the right side. Exhale, sway torso to the left, hips go right. Open up through the right side chest and breathe. Inhale, come up through center. This time, interlace the fingers behind the base of the skull. Root down through your feet. Tops of thighs anchor back, elbows wide. And then slowly lift up through your sternum. Let all the weight of the head fall into the hands. Maybe take your gaze up. Sliding scapula down your back. Gorgeous. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, walk hands forward. Exhale, step your right foot back, runner's lunge. So keep your hands rooted down. Front knee bends at 90. Back knee lifts, lift up through the back thigh, and then take your finger, your left finger to your left hip crease and press it to the back of your mat. Rebend into the front knee, ground down into all four corners of your front foot. Hug muscles to the midline. Inhale, reach all the way up, high lunge. And then exhale, high twist, right arm forward, left arm back. Keep lifting up through your back thigh, bending your front knee. Maybe the gaze goes back. Inhale, reach back up, look up, turn forward. Exhale, bring your hands down. Step forward, step or steps, forward fold. Take a moment, notice the difference between the sides. Left foot steps way back, runner's lunge, fingertips are down to start. Back knee, back thigh lifts, scoop your heart forward, draw your belly button toward your spine, and then come all the way up, high lunge. Right arm back, left arm forward, high twist. Maybe take your gaze back and then act as if someone's pressing your front knee into the midline. You want to have some resistance there with the knee pressing back out a little bit. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, bring your hands down. Step forward, forward fold. See if you feel a little bit more even. Okay, next round. Right foot steps back. Left foot stays forward. Fingers are down. Set your foundation. Rise all the way up. Inhale. Same thing. High twist. Exhale. Right arm forward. Left arm back. Inhale. Reach forward and up. Airplane, exhale, sweep your arms back, palms face down. Little step in with the back foot, big lift with the back leg. Keeping your standing legs strong and straight. And then taking the hammock out of your back by taking the bottom of your sternum down toward your navel. This will fill up the waistline in the back, adding more stability. Good. Step all the way back to your crescent lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down. Claw them out with your finger pads. Step back, downward facing dog. You might notice a difference between the sides here. Inhale, rock forward to your plank. Maybe knees come down. Exhale, optional push-up. Just a push-up, no back bend. And then press straight back up. Lift the knees if they're down, downward facing dog. Inhale, breath. Exhale, breath. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees deeply, look ahead. Little hop. Big hop, top of the mat, or little steps all the way up. Fold. Walk your hands forward, reach through the crown, inhale. Exhale, step your left foot back. Right foot is forward. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. Maybe take the gaze back. And then inhale, reach arms forward and up. Exhale, sweep arms back, palms face down. Get ready to take flight. Airplane, back leg lifts. And then really keep the lifted leg as strong as the one that you're standing and balancing on. Hug muscle to bone. Reach through your crown and breathe. And then step all the way back, high lunge. Find the pose again, reach up. Exhale, hands down. Step back, down dog. Inhale, roll forward to your plank. Exhale, optional push-up. Good. Inhale, press back up, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple rounds of breath. Notice how you're feeling in your body right now. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, look ahead. Little hop, big hop to the top of the mat or steps and fold. Root down into the feet. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. Look up, reach up. Palms touch, and then exhale, refold. Hinge at hips over strong, straight legs. Start your inhale, walk your hands forward, reach through your crown, lift up through the tail. And then set the hands, exhale, right foot steps back first. So we're kind of starting on a different side, maybe that you're not used to. And then inhale, reach all the way up. Okay, adding on. Right arm forward, left arm back. High twist. And then inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, find your airplane. We're going to add on to this. From airplane, take your fingertips down to your mat or block or blanket, whatever's there. Keep your standing legs strong and straight. Keep your lifted kneecap facing down to square off the hips, and then press through the ball of your lifted foot. Draw the bottom of your sternum toward your navel. Lift your right leg higher and bring your torso to the standing leg. Breathe, let the head hang. Elongate through the bones of both legs. Bend your standing knee, step way back, crescent lunge. Inhale, reach all the way up, nice and slow. Exhale, take both hands down. Grip the mat with your finger pads. Stay and listen. We'll take side plank with the right hand staying down. That could look like turning the toes toward the long edge of your mat with your left hand on your hip and your left arm up, or you might sneak the left foot on top of the right. Left arm reaches up. Right scapula slides down your back to make space for your neck. And then you're flexing your toes like crazy if your feet are stacked. Drawing inner thighs together and pressing them back. And then lengthening your tailbone down toward your heels. Lifting hips, breathing. Gorgeous. Left hand comes back down, plank. Optional push-up. Downward dog. You guys know you can take child's pose at any time. Drink water, take breaks, and then pick up when you can. Okay, inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees deeply, empty the breath, look ahead. Make your way to the top of your mat, fold. Inhale, walk hands forward, reach to the crown. Exhale, plant the hands, step your left foot back. Come to your lunge, reach your arms all the way up. So what's nice about these ladder flows is that your body starts to get used to the sequence. You don't have to think too much about it. Left arm back, left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, reach arms forward and up. Exhale, sweep arms back, palms down, reach to the fingertips, airplane. No rush. And then reach long through your crown and your toes. Notice if you're cranking on your neck, maybe take the gaze down a touch. And then slowly lower your fingertips down to your mat, standing split. Lifted kneecap faces down. Bottom of sternum draws toward your navel to bring a little puffiness to the back of your waistline. Protect the back. Maybe lift your left leg higher as you pull yourself into your standing leg. Breath is essential here. Good. Set the hands down if they're up at all. Slowly step back. Crescent lunge. Reach your arms all the way up. In breath. And then exhale. Take your hands down to your mat. Listen carefully. Keep your left hand rooted. You could take the toes to point to the long edge of your mat on the right. Right hand, right hip, right arm reaches up. Or stack the legs. So stacking bones, stacking joints. Left scapula slides down your back toward your waistline. Hips lift. Gaze might be up or down. Come back through plank. Optional push-up. Downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath. Check in. Notice how you're doing. Inhale deeply. Stick out your tongue, lion. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, bend knees, look ahead. Make your way to the top of your mat, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. Nice and slow. Look up. And then exhale, hinge at hips, fold. Okay, we'll do one more little section and then we'll go and use our blanket. Okay. So we're gonna start on the left foot, right foot steps back, find your lunge, same thing. Reach all the way up to the sky, inhale. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, sweep your arms back, take flight. If you want to add on to your airplane, you can reach your arms forward for your warrior 3. Upper arms glued to the ears. Gorgeous. Bottom of sternum draws toward navel. There. Good, Sonia. And then lift your back leg a little bit higher. You can do it. And now bring your fingertips all the way down to the mat. Gorgeous. There it is. From here, take your top knee to the back of the knee pit on the standing leg. So it's like a knee to knee. And then you squat with the left knee or left leg. And then right leg reaches up to the sky. And then we squat knee to knee. Inhale, right leg reaches up. Exhale, squat knee to knee. Good. Inhale, right leg lifts, stay. Step way back. Nice and slow. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, both hands come down, side plank. Right hand is rooted. Choose your own adventure. One breath in. And exhale, plank. Maybe a push-up or straight to downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees deeply. Make your way to forward fold, Uttanasana. Strong straight legs, lift up through your tail. Good, left foot steps back. Runner's lunge to high lunge. Reach all the way up. Left arm forward, right arm back. I got it right this time. And then inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, sweep your arms back, palms face down. Take flight, airplane, or grip the mat with your toes and then spread the toes back out. Lifted kneecap faces down, bottom of sternum draws to navel, reach your arms forward. Just an invitation. Find your breath, stay with the sensation, stay in the work. Muscular tone, squeeze muscle to bone. Take your fingertips all the way down to your mat. Good. Lift your left leg a little bit higher. Inhale. Exhale, knee to knee, squat. Inhale, left leg straightens up, right knee straightens. 2 more. Exhale, knee to knee. Inhale, left leg lengthens. Exhale, knee to knee. That was it. Left leg up. And then step way back. Crescent lunge, reach up. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Left hand stays. Find your variation of side plank. Right arm reaches up. You're breathing. Maybe you lift a leg. Come through plank. Optional push-up. Downward dog. Whew. Few rounds of breath. Grip mat with finger pads. Lift up through tail. Soften heels down. And even here, draw the bottom of the sternum toward the navel a little bit and then re-lift through the tailbone. It's really subtle. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees deeply. Look ahead. Make your way to the top of the mat, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. Look up. Hands come to the heart. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Close your eyes. Think about your special person. Good. Inhale. Lion's breath. Exhale. Arms by the sides, palms face in. Little standing balance, and then we'll get to our blanket. So take the weight to the left leg and hug muscle to bone. So lifting your kneecap, that's going to engage your quadricep. Take your hands to your hips and then lift your right knee. So the right knee extends straight from the hip, flex the foot. Notice if your right hip is peeling up more than your left hip. So even that out. Good. Now straighten your right leg. Left leg is strong. Spine stays vertical. You've got some lift up through the crown of the head, and then maybe take your arms up. Squeeze your left buttocks. Lift your right leg. Spine is tall. And release. Shake it out. Notice the difference between the sides. Okay, right leg strong and straight. Left knee lifts up to hip height. Good. And then hands can be at the hips. Flex the foot that's lifted. Flex it. Toes toward the knee. Lift them up, yeah. Now straighten your left leg forward. Notice the hips. Are they as level as they can be, even in your mind's eye? Tailbone lengthens down to the standing heel. Maybe reach your arms up. Spine stays tall. And then play with lifting the left leg further if that's safe for you. If it's not, you don't even have to lift it. It can be down on your mat and you can still have muscular tone. Good. One more inhale. And exhale, release. Beautiful. Come back to the Tadasana. Okay. So now take your blanket and we're going to make it a part of the top of our mat. So you're just adding a little height. And more height means more intensity. So you might start with just like one layer. I'm going to try for 2 and see how that goes. Okay. So you've got your blanket at the top of the mat or towel, whatever. And then you're going to step the balls of the feet on to your blanket. So your toes are there, but your heels are down on your mat. And then just play with this for a second, get used to it. Spread the toes laterally. Notice if your feet want to like bow out or turn in, and try to correct that with the inner and outer ankles lifting up together. And then press tops of thighs back. Tailbone points down a touch. Lift armpits up to ears. Head of arm bones back. Palms face in. Gaze forward. Super strong. Okay, you've got the balance. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold over strong, straight legs. So this fold should feel more intense than the other ones. And how that's going to happen, maybe it's already here just with the height, the elevation of your feet. Otherwise, walk your hands forward so that the legs become straight. Lift up through your tailbone. Reach through the crown, draw scapula down your back. Take a big breath in. Keep strong, straight legs. Exhale, refold. And then enjoy a deep stretch in the back of the calves or the calf muscles, the hammies. Keep lifting up through your tailbone. Maybe grab your ankles with your hands and draw your torso deeper to the fold as your scapula still go down your back toward your waistline. So it's almost like you're lifting them up because we're upside down. Relax your jaw. Shake your head, no. Nod, yes. Spread your toes laterally. Good. If you have the legs, just release them. Take your hands out in front of you and then step your right foot back. Keep your foot on the blanket. So what this blanket's gonna do is make us really aligned. So press down into the big toe mound and come all the way up. Inhale, reach your arms up, bend your front knee, lift your back thigh. Find your twist, right arm forward, left arm back. If you want to deepen, palms together, wedge your right elbow outside the left knee, and then draw the thumbs toward your sternum. Press the palms together, slide scapula down your back, rebend into your front knee, maybe let the front of the right hip come forward and down toward the midline to deepen the twist. You can take your gaze back. Draw the belly up. Good, now press down into the blanket, come back up. Inhale, reach your arms up. We're not gonna do an airplane on the blanket, don't worry. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Step your back foot up a little bit, and then maybe play with balancing here, standing split. So the hands are down, they're part of your foundation. Big stretch here, so be mindful. And breathe. Good, take your right leg all the way back. We're gonna do something different here. Take your back heel down. So you've got this warrior two stance, and then bring both hands inside your left foot and reach diagonally off of your mat and press your booty way back, heart way forward. Scoop your left sits bone underneath your left hip and spread the toes. Breathe. Good. Walk your hands back toward the front foot. Lift your back heel and then step or big steps all the way to the top of the mat. Fold. Replace the foot. Notice if you feel a difference between the sides. So now we're definitely working the ankles and the feet. This is very healthy. If it doesn't feel good, I never want you to work through pain, but we're just trying to train our foundation here. Okay, step your left foot back. Front knee bends, squeeze legs to the midline, and reach all the way up to the sky. Bend your front knee, lift your back thigh, left arm forward, right arm back. And then palms can come together if you like. Wedge the left elbow outside your right knee. You can always take your back knee down. Press your palms together, draw your thumbs to your sternum. Lifting back thigh, bending front knee, rolling left rib cage under the right. Oppositional pull, reaching through your crown and your back heel, really long. Keep the integrity of your legs, come all the way back up. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, take your hands down. Standing split, left leg lifts. You're still breathing, spreading toes laterally. Good, elongate through your bones and step way back. I may have done this out of order, but we'll even ourselves out. Take your left heel down, warrior 2 feet. Walk your hands to the left. Scoop your heart forward, press your booty back, like really exaggerate this. And then take your right sits bone, scoop it under your right hip. It's like your sits bone is spotlighting your tailbone. Bend deeper into your front knee. Melt your heart. Good. Walk your hands back toward the front foot. Lift your back heel and step forward, forward fold. Let the head hang. Pressing down into the big toe mound. Lengthening from the big toe mound back to the inner heel. And then the inner heel lengthens diagonally to the pinky toe mound. And from the pinky toe mound to the outer heel. Walk your hands all the way up the front side of your body, nice and slow. Breathe. Okay, last pose on our feet. So you can have your blanket, slide it back a little bit. And then we'll take the ball of the left foot onto the blanket, take the right foot way back, and we're gonna set up for pyramid. If you know you like some height once you fold, grab a water bottle or a block or whatever you have handy, a book is fine. Okay, feet are not on a tightrope, they're on railroad tracks. Take your hands to your hips, square your pelvis forward as much as it will allow. Even if you need to step up the back foot, that's fine. I just want both feet rooted down completely. Okay, from here, hinge at your hips. Think of pressing your pubic bone back between your legs the whole time. Your left hand can help guide your left hip back the entire time that your torso folds. So this could get intense quick. Decide if you want to keep some height here. And then work on the foot foundation. Ground the big toe mound. Reach through the crown. Hinge at your hips, fold. Outer left hip peels to the back of the mat. Front of right hip rolls forward. Not holding any stress in your jaw. Let the head hang. Maybe walk your hands back a little bit. Good, and then walk your hands forward. You could have them on a block still. Left hand, left hip, press it back, come up in alignment. Nice long spine, come all the way up. Good. Bend the front knee, step forward, and then place the right foot on the blanket. Notice the difference in the body, side to side, front to back. Good. Other side, left foot steps back. Both feet are rooted down. Hands to hips. Right hip shifts back, left hip forward. And then as you hinge at your hips, press your pubic bone back between the upper thighs. Lift up through your tailbone. Reach through your crown and come to your fold, whatever that looks like for you. In this practice, because we know it changes every time we practice. Once you're there, deepen your breath, maybe close your eyes. Option to walk your hands back a little bit. Keep your outer right hip turning to the back of your mat. Front of left hip rolls forward. Relax your jaw, soften your face. Gorgeous. Walk your hands forward. Maybe they come to a block. Keep your right hip pressing back. So maybe right hand to right hip crease. You're still pressing back through your pubic bone, lifting up through your tail, and then slowly coming all the way up. And step forward. Okay, that was a lot of work for the feet and ankles. Hopefully that feels good and maybe you learned something new. So you can take your blanket and this time go ahead and roll it thick and just set it down at the top third of your mat, and you can come down to your shins. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I mean, I'm just wanting to give us a little height as we work on a couple back bends, or a little support, I should say. This is my favorite way to do like face down back bends. So you take your blanket and then you just take kind of where the diaphragm is, the rib cage, and come on down onto the blanket. And you're on your elbows, just set up. So take your legs wide, point the toes. You're on the tops of your feet. And then reach both arms forward and come to the finger pads. If this is not an option for you, come back to Sphinx pose. So with Sphinx, you've got the elbows right under the shoulders. You're melting your heart, drawing your scapula toward each other, and then your bottom of your sternum, same alignment, draws down to your navel. So you lift the lower belly a little bit, so like a little tiny row of cute ladybugs are crawling under, and we don't want to squish them. And then you reach your arms forward or extend. Maybe you deepen this. Take your gaze down and forward so we don't crank the neck. Lift the palms, finger pads are down, and then relax your glutes a little bit if you're clenching them. And then slowly release. Come down to crocodile, elbows wide, palms stack. Bring the forehead to the back of your hands. And then you can just shimmy your hips a little side to side. Okay, next, come back up. You're going to take your right arm and have it be parallel with the short edge of your mat at the top. Bend your left knee and take your left hand, reach for the inside of your left foot. So if you have any knee discomfort when you do like a quad stretch, I want you to flare your toes laterally. This is going to help hug your shins into the midline and add muscular tone. And then you're grabbing onto the foot, kicking into the hand. The hand pulls on the foot, elbow faces down. Spread your toes wide. And then maybe take your gaze forward and press down into the front forearm to lift the chest. Look forward. And then draw the bottom of the sternum down toward the navel. Press down into the forearm and look ahead. Keep kicking into the hand. Hand pulls to foot. And slowly release. Crocodile. Shimmy hips side to side. Left forearm parallel with the front side of the mat. Back knee bends. You could also make sure the back knee is a little bit more in line with the sits bone, or you might decide the knee needs to be a little bit wider. And then take the right hand, reach for the inside of the back foot. Spread the toes super wide. Pull on the foot as the foot kicks into the hand. Draw the bottom of the sternum down toward the navel. And then look forward, chest forward, press down into your left forearm and kick and pull. And you're breathing. Good. Slowly release. Crocodile. Okay, slide your hands underneath the shoulders and press on up to tabletop. You could take your blanket and move it to the back of your mat. So you're in your tabletop, just take a couple rounds, cat-cow. Nice and slow and easy. Good, and then walk your hands forward a little bit, wrists forward of the shoulders, toes are tucked, spread the toes wide, lift up through your tailbone, and then draw down the bottom of your sternum toward your navel a little bit. You find that sweet spot, and slowly find down dog just for transition. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees and jump to a seat. Okay, once you're down to the seat, if you want to add a little height underneath your sits bones, go for it. What this does is helps keep the pelvis anteriorly tilted. That's the correct alignment, and it keeps our low back pulling in and up. Take your hands next to your hips, lift the booty, slide your sits bones back. Flex the toes. Inhale, lift armpits to ears. Exhale, slide scapula down your back. And then just walk your hands forward. And we don't have to go for some fancy, crazy Instagram pose. We don't need to sacrifice alignment just to grab the feet. So if you start rounding, you want to stay up. We want the stretch to be in the backs of our legs. Good, and then slowly come back up. Take your left knee, bend it, and bring it out to the side. So your left knee can point to the back corner of your mat. And then take your foot, click the toes down. Your ankle is extended. And then you can take your right femur bone and suck it back into the hip socket. Okay, right leg is straight and strong, toes are flexed. This is a twist, so be mindful. You'll just take your hands, twist your torso forward as much as it will allow, and then walk your hands forward. And the left side of the pelvis might want to go toward the midline, and that's fine. You could either keep your left hand out to the side and your right hand grabbing the right foot, or if you are just super open, you could take your left hand outside your right foot and twist. But this is my really tight side, so that's not happening. Deepen your breath. Good, come out of that, and then you can take your right forearm, flip it up, and bring it to the inside of your right knee, left hand, left hip. Root down through your pubic bone, so it's like you're pressing your sits bones back, and then pin your left scapula toward the spine. Reach your left arm up, maybe take the hand behind the head, gaze up, deep side stretch, breathe. Good, slowly come out and take both legs forward. Take a moment and notice the difference between the sides. Okay, root the hands down, lift hips, slide sits bones back. Now we're bending our right knee and it can face the back corner of the mat. As long as this left leg stays straight and extended from your hip. You can even take your hands next to the hips, lift the booty, and slide sits bones back. And then the left femur bone like sucks into the hip socket. From here, twist the torso forward. You might find a bigger range of motion on this side or less. And then hinge at your hips. Your options are grabbing the outside of the left foot with the left hand and just keeping the right fingertips outside the right side of your mat and hinging. Or if you can take more of a twist, you would take the right hand to the outside of the left leg or foot and walk your left fingertips back. And then a few rounds of breath. Beautiful. Slowly come up. Straighten out the right leg. Maybe bounce the knees a little bit. And then root the hands down, bend the knees, and come on down to your back. And you can just take the blanket aside. All right, once you're on your back, bring your knees to your chest. Take a few circles with the knees in each direction. Take both feet down on your mat. Roll your sits bones forward so that your arm can sneak underneath the low back. Take the right ankle, cross it over your left thigh. Organically, the right knee presses forward, foot is flexed. And then if you have the space, you'll lift the shape toward your chest, maybe interlace fingers around the back of the thigh, or even in front of your left shin. And then your breath is your best friend as we deepen the stretch. Tuck your chin just a touch. If it's elevated, you could even have it on a block or blanket. Shift a little side to side. And then take your left foot down, unhook the right. Notice the difference. We move so fast through life that we often forget to just pause and be. Okay, left ankle crosses over right thigh, flex the foot deeply, roll your sits bones forward, and then take the shape toward your chest. Whatever variation works for you, and then rock a little side to side. Good. Take your right foot down, followed by your left. Soles of feet together, knees wide, Supta Baddha Konasana. And then just take both hands onto the belly, or one hand belly, one hand heart. Close your eyes and take a few moments to receive your practice. Let your body be heavy on your mat. And then yogi's choice for your final resting pose. Remember, you get to stay there as long as you like. You can always tell me goodbye in an email after class. But if you want, I want to offer you many ways to end. Maybe you take legs up the wall. Maybe you take Shavasana with a blanket over you for just some grounding and some nourishing comfort. Maybe you just want to end in Supta Baddha Konasana. Or maybe you have something else in mind entirely. So just find what works for you and set up. And while you're setting up and getting into stillness, just make those little micro adjustments that's going to help you fully surrender and drop in quickly. Good. Any last adjustments? Softness in your face. Hips are heavy, pelvis is heavy. Shavasana legs, no more muscle engagement. And your breath is natural, so that means you're just not focusing on it really. You're just letting it happen. Let the body be breathed. So just come back to the present moment, and the only thing you're doing differently is deepening your breath. And remember, stay here as long as you can. I just want to make sure that I honor our time. So if you're staying, you're just continuing with your natural breath. Being heavy. Otherwise, deepening your breath. Finding a little movement in your fingers and toes. Reach your arms up to the sky and then back behind you. And then stretch your opposite limbs. Left arm stretches away from right leg. Good. And then right arm stretches away from left leg. Exhale out all your breath. So you can take in the biggest inhale you've taken in all morning, maybe all weekend. Big breath in, hold the breath at the top, and then exhale out your mouth. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your hands around the knees. And then just roll off to whatever side is calling you. Gently press yourself up to a seat. When you're ready, maintain the energy of your Shavasana and keep your eyes closed. Fold your palms together in front of your heart. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release. Namaste.